And we're going to send things over to the kitchen with Vic and our chef Gretchen, or pastry chef Gretchen. Back over there. Go. Leave me. Bye.
Didn't the robot look like a mix between Woody and Buzz Lightyear?
Or like
Definitely.
Terminator?
Or Terminator?
Sort of.
Yeah, it's a mix of everything.
There's a lot going on.
All right, as Joe said, so succinctly, we have Chef Gretchen from NCCC here, and we're talking frosting today because the frosting is actually, it's the frosting on the cake.
Oh, it's the frosting on the
Everybody
cake for
sees
sure.
that, and that's the draw.
That's what draws you in.
Okay, so what are we starting with? We're going to make the cake.
We're gonna, we have some cake already prepared. We're gonna do our cake pans the right way with some parchment rounds, lining our cake pans, make sure they're even so they turn out to be the same layer.
And it comes out easier when you line it with the
parchment? It comes out way easier. I promise you. Flips right out.
All right, so what are some of the ingredients, first of all, that they need to have on hand?
What you just want to start with is your favorite 9-inch round cake layer.
Okay.
Two layers here we have. And then we have a buttercream recipe. And that is just basically butter, 10x sugar, and a little bit of milk, vanilla to taste.
What's 10x sugar? Is that just
confectioner's sugar. Oh, sorry.
You're talking way over my head here. I know sugars, but not that.
Confectioner's sugar. You just want to start creaming your butter. You add a little bit of the sugar, a little bit of milk to thin it out, you know, to taste it as you go.
You have the butter at room temperature?
Butter's always at room temperature. It keeps your ingredients to mix up better.
And what about the pastry bags, or the frosting bags?
We have a variety of piping bags that we're going to try, and we're going to decorate all of our cupcakes and cake with.
Are they expensive?
No, not at all. They're maybe $2 at the store. They're not hard to find.
Like
different
AC
brands.
Moore or Michaels or something?
Yes, absolutely.
Joann's?
Wilton brand carries them all. Yeah, not hard to find and easier to use than disposable bags.
You can wash them out and reuse them.
You can wash them out. You can reuse them. They last.
Okay.
Way easier than disposable bags.
Welcome back. We're going to head right into the kitchen right now because they're working on some icing in there. What's up, guys?
Well, actually, you know what? In the 2 minutes that we were on break, I just happened to throw this together. It's a little basket weave with a... Look at that. She just threw that together, plus another one, just in a minute.
You'll be able to, too, I promise.
All right, sorry. Here it is.
Ugh.
Okay.
We'll all make basket weave.
This is the quickie of the cake to make sure that you're going to have a good outcome.
To ensure a decent outcome. So we want to start with, these are just 8-inch pans, 8.5. This is parchment paper. It comes in full sheet sizes.
You just get that anywhere.
You can get that at any supply store.
Okay.
I folded it into quarters, and now I'm going to trace it. A lot of people like to use pen or pencil to trace it, but why would you want to eat lead or pen afterwards?
True.
So easy the way is just to...
Oh, you're just kind of score it?
I'm just going to kind of score it. It just leaves a nice little mark on there. You can see it. It's very faint, but you can see it enough that it allows you to cut it. And then when you take, some recipes say grease and flour. You don't always have to grease and flour your pans. You can use Pam spray as long as you have the parchment paper as your aid. So now you have these little rounds.
Did you spray it already? Should I spray it?
What you want to do with your spray, this is important. Either do it over a garbage can or over a kitchen sink because you don't want to spray it on the floor.
Not your guest. Oh, because you'll slip.
Because then you'll slip.
Okay.
So whenever you're spraying any Pam spray, anything like that, spray it over a sink or garbage can.
And do the sides as well?
Yep, sides. Put your parchment in, and then you can...
And then you have already cake batter made up.
And then I have cake batter made up.
30 seconds left.
And then you just want to divide them evenly. And you want to make sure you get an even amount in each one, so one isn't taller than the other, so you don't have to cut off the top and lose that delicious cake that everybody wants to enjoy.
That's what happened to me. I wasn't taller than my brother, and they didn't give me enough cake batter.
See?
Okay, we're done with this segment. Next one, we're going to just go over quickly about the buttercream frosting, and then we're going to actually learn how to decorate.
We're going to finish this cake with this and this.
All right, and I'm going to do another cupcake in our break.
Oh, look out.
Absolutely, look out. Joe, back to you.
All right, thanks. Head over to Victoria right now. You guys are going to start icing that cake? Is that what's happening?
We are. We are going to start icing the cake. We're going to change subject to something more appetizing.
Yes.
Chef Gretchen from NCCC, pastry chef. We have a buttercream frosting.
This is buttercream made with butter versus Crisco. Crisco frosting kind of leaves a mouthfeel to it where the butter melts in your mouth easier, but the Crisco holds up better outside versus the butter can potentially melt outside. So both have their advantages and disadvantages.
You also put cream in it because you made this frosting before, right?
I did. There's a little bit of cream to thin it out. There's the 10x / confectioner's sugar, vanilla, whatever you want to add to it.
Okay, and you put that in like a Cuisinart or something mixer?
You want to cream it together, add your sugar, taste as you go along the way, which is fun. So
okay, this is all I'm allowed to do. Glop it on?
You can glop it on. What you'd want to do first, if you had like a mound here, you want to take your knife and cut it. You know what I mean? You'd want it to be flat. You want both your cakes to be flat.
Okay.
However, when you start to cut it, do not put your hand here and cut through. because you're gonna cut your hand.
Oh.
So you want to put your hand on top of the cake and cut like this. So that way, no potential.
You have to cut the top of the cake?
I don't have to on this one, but some cakes, yes.
Because they go up
They
high.
get like a little mound on it, they rise up, and you want them to be flat.
You got any tips on keeping it flat like yours?
It depends on the recipe. It depends on the recipe that you use and how filled, you know, the pans are and
How
stuff
much
like
air
that.
you get in your cake or something?
Yeah, how it works out, the science behind it.
Okay, so
But
what do I do?
So glop on.
Glop on.
This would be your filling. You could put any kind of filling in. You can keep going.
When yours spins. More,
Yes,
more
this
glop
is
more?
Glop more. This is a cake table.
More?
Let me see.
Oh, that's a lot. That's great.
You just want to get like a healthy little edge on it. Flat, obviously flat. I'm using an offset spatula to ice all my cakes with, and they come in different sizes depending on what you're using them for.
Is that like a scraper on the wall? More? Oh, no.
Kind of, is right, like a plaster. That would be perfect. And so
Okay.
what we're going to do then is take our cake, which
Another
is
flat one.
Another flat one, and you're going to flip it and put it on like this. Because I know that this bottom is flat no matter what. If there were for some reason that I were cutting the top, if I wasn't the best cutter, it could be uneven.
Well, what if you had the uneven? That's wrong?
It wouldn't be wrong. It would just maybe leave like a finished, not so
Not as
pretty.
professional.
So you always want to flip it over because this way I know it's flat.
Okay.
Guaranteed flat.
Great.
More on top. You want to start with the stuff on top. So put your stuff on the top. You want to smooth that out.
You have such a ginger touch about this.
This is just from years and years of icing cakes.
Oh, my goodness. Now, have classes started for you?
Classes are starting soon. I have not started teaching. I'll be back later in the fall for the classical pastry class where we do stuff like this and we start working on our piping skills and we practice icing cakes and piping and writing in about 20 to 30 minutes a day. Each class the kids are practicing because it takes that long to get good at it, I promise.
Okay. How much time do we have, Lauren? We need to get some of our beauty, her art. We have 2 minutes left.
So once you've got your top on, you want to start with your sides.
Okay.
If you're working with a particularly crummy cake, not that it's bad, crummy as in the crumbs coming off, you can always put a crumb coat on. And that is just a very thin coat that you would run all the way
Like
along.
glue?
Yeah, to kind of glue all the crumbs in if you're concerned about that at all. Especially if you're working with a chocolate cake and white frosting.
My stomach is growling just watching this. Have you heard it? I've been a little embarrassed.
No, it's fine. So you would go all the way around, smoothing as you go. And that would produce a finish like this. If you wanted to, they sell cake combs with like the teeth on them. You can buy those, or everyone obviously has a serrated knife. If you wanted a different finish,
Oh, look at that.
you could always do something like that.
Very creative.
Now, once you have the whole cake ice and you notice you have this ridge, you want to go back
Okay, we have 1 minute.
and take off your little ridge.
Like Bob Ross.
But like, or Joan Rivers.
So what I'm going to do quickly is I have a bag with a regular star tip on it.
Okay.
When you fill your piping bags, you just kind of want to put it over your hand like this. And you can fill it with a spatula, your offset, whatever tools you have handy.
And this is a star?
This is a star tip.
Okay. And you can
kind
buy
of a
different
medium
types
size.
of tips.
The whole range.
Just a few dollars.
Just, I think they're like 50 cents, maybe $1, if that. Yeah, they're really cheap. And what I'm going to start with is a bottom border. And this is just like a shell.
Wow.
And then I can do a top border, and it's kind of like a reverse shell, kind of closed with a little tail.
You know what happens to me every time I eat? Right, it has to stop because I can't squeeze any more out. I'm at the
Right.
level.
Right, yeah, that's okay. You can stop, keep it twisted, keep the pressure, just one hand. If you want to use this hand to sort of guide with as you go.
Now let's say you mess up. Can you just take the frosting and try it again?
Of course, that's the best part, look.
Look at that. Eraser.
Eraser.
Magic. All right.
And I can always go back and do a different tip.
Look at that, like a paisley or something.
It's kind of like a bigger shell tip.
All right. We've got 20 seconds.
What I'll do is I'll finish this on the break.
Okay.
And when we come back,
It'll be magic.
it'll be like magic. And then we will work on using some of our different tips
I will work my
cupcakes.
creation once more after all of
You
doing
will.
those 3.
They will look beautiful, I promise.
All right, Gretchen from NCCC just whipped up this whole thing. Look at that. It took her literally 2 minutes during the break to finish that up. And you want to shout out a happy birthday to your friend?
Yes, this is for Adrian. This is happy birthday, Adrian. My friend Adrian's birthday is on Monday, so I would love to wish her a happy birthday.
And we're going to love to wish your birthday, celebrate it with the cake today at the studio. We're going to eat it. Okay, we're going to do cupcakes.
We're going to
for
do some
second helping.
cupcakes. If you bake a cake, you're going to maybe have some extra batter left over. Make some cupcakes, freeze them, pull them out, decorate them when you need them. This is a giant leaf tip that's going to produce this delightful little sunflower.
I love that one.
And all you just want to do is start in the middle and just kind of go out.
It looks like a stingray.
Kind of. And then just keep going until you kind of get, you know, the desired height and
And all you did, you took your buttercream frosting and you put some dye in.
just some yellow
Food dye.
tint. You could go orange, yellow, you know, whichever
Whatever colors you
sunflower
have.
color you want. And then these are just some chocolate sprinkles. You can find them at Tops or anywhere. And they make the little seeds in the middle.
Look at that. Okay, and just before, I just happened to whip this thing up. And you know, it started out, I wanted to make it a rose.
Okay,
and then I
there's a
realized I
special
went,
tip for that, but this is looking like a flower too.
Here's the tip. Let
Here's
the professionals do it.
No, wait, look how beautiful that looks. Who wouldn't want this?
And this is edible
This is
sprinkles.
edible glitter, yes.
Glitter.
You can get it at Bake Mark and William Street. They sell all kinds of fun products to play with your cupcakes and everything. And the last thing I can show you real quick.
All right, we're going to invite Joe over here.
Joe,
He can make his own.
get out here.
Even though, you know what?
Yes,
be
I'm
honest,
here.
fess up. You already made one and
Here,
ate it.
Joe already hit.
Would you like a cupcake for your frosting?
Oh, yeah, sure,
No,
whatever.
just
This
the
is mine.
frosting?
Give
You're
me
all
that.
set?
Yeah, just
I'll give you
put
that.
it in there.
This is a basket weave tip, which produces a really fun little finish.
Oh, cool. Look at the little lines there.
Look at the little lines, Joe.
Any kind of special cupcake paper that you should use?
No, these are just your regular
Regular?
cupcake papers, but they do offer a variety of them in all kinds of colors and prints, which are so fun.
All right.
That's
Look
neat.
at that.
You just weaved a little
Right,
basket.
I did.
on it.
I
Pastry
weaved the
chef Gretchen
basket.
from NCCC, once again, making some masterpieces here that we're going to try in just a minute. But
And
we
she
just want to
brought
thank you so
icing.
much. And she brought a bowl of icing for Joe. Everybody's
I know,
happy.
that was fun.
It was fun today.
We're having.
We're going to have even more fun tomorrow, equal fun tomorrow. Coming up, we're going to have Buffalo firefighters, correct? Who
That's
are going
right.
to be some guest chefs.
They'll be cooking in here. We're going to have 2 of them, I think. It's going to be great. Plus, we're going to give you a little preview of the Scottish Festival this weekend. Festival.
And Allie, she's walking on water at the fair.